Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world obsessed with connection, followers, likes, endless conversations. Yet, some of the brightest minds seem to walk alone. Not because they are arrogant, not because they are misanthropic, but because they are tuned into something else, something deeper. Smart people don't care about social life in the way the world defines it, because they are not looking to belong, they are looking to become. The average social structure rewards imitation. It asks, do you fit in? But the intelligent soul hears another question echoing from the silence. Do you know who you are? The journey of such a person is not toward popularity, but toward individuation. The process of becoming whole, of uniting the shadows within, of facing the self without mask or illusion. In gatherings filled with noise, these individuals may feel unseen, not because no one is looking, but because the gaze is shallow. They crave depth, not chatter, truth, not small talk. And when that cannot be found in others, they dive inward. The world calls it isolation, they call it integration. Understand this. The intelligent mind is not antisocial. It simply resists distraction. It seeks meaning over momentum, silence over applause, and wisdom over attention. It's not that they don't value people, it's that they value the right kind of presence. Authentic, rare, and real. And so they walk alone, not in despair, but in discovery. While the crowd chases noise, they chase nuance. While others search for acceptance, they seek alignment. Their solitude is not emptiness, but a sanctuary. In this silence, they hear the whispers of their own unconscious. They wrestle with their inner contradictions. And in that struggle, they are reborn, not once, but again and again. So next time you see someone withdrawn and unbothered by the latest trends, uninterested in idle talk, don't assume they are lost. Smart individuals often find themselves at odds with the mainstream currents of society, not out of rebellion, but out of a natural divergence in focus. Where most people look outward for guidance, approval, and belonging, the intelligent mind turns inward, seeking meaning and truth within the self. This inward orientation arises from a fundamental longing not to fit into a collective mold, but to unfold into something entirely unique. While others imitate their individuation, the average social structure thrives on conformity. Trends, groupthink, and popular opinion offer a sense of security. They give people something to agree on, a sense of belonging, and a script to follow. But for those who are more reflective, more perceptive, this script feels hollow. They may even try to play the part for a while, smiling in crowds, nodding in agreement, echoing the expected responses, but it soon becomes unbearable. Something inside them resists. Something calls for a deeper encounter with the self. This is the beginning of the process we call individuation. It is not a rejection of others, but a commitment to becoming whole. It requires one to look beyond the ego, beyond the role society assigns, and to descend into the often uncomfortable depths of the psyche. There, the intelligent person meets not only their strengths and ideals, but their shadows, their doubts, fears, and contradictions. And yet, this confrontation is precisely what makes their path meaningful. It's not the social mask they wish to perfect, but the inner landscape they wish to illuminate. In such a journey, social life becomes less important, not because connection isn't valued, but because superficiality is unbearable. They are less interested in being seen and more interested in seeing clearly. They begin to realize that many social interactions are built not on authenticity, but on performance. This makes them cautious with their energy. They do not seek the crowd, because the crowd often drowns the voice within. True individuation cannot happen in the noise of constant validation. It happens in the quiet choices we make when no one is watching. It's in the books we read, the questions we ask, the silence we sit with. And ironically, it is in this solitude that the intelligent person becomes truly capable of meaningful connection, not based on neediness or sameness, but on shared authenticity. They don't want to blend in. They want to be wholly, truthfully, and freely. Therefore, it is not that they don't care about social life. It's that they refuse to lose themselves within it. They are not escaping society, but transcending the shallower aspects of it in order to return, if they choose to, with something more real to offer. The smart person's detachment from social life is not apathy. It is the necessary price of becoming who they truly are. To the average mind, silence is often uncomfortable, something to be filled with conversation, noise, or distraction. But for the intelligent individual, silence is not empty. It is the threshold of something profound. Beneath their calm exterior lies a world in motion, an ongoing, intricate dialogue within the self. While the world clamors for attention, their thoughts move inward like rivers seeking the ocean. The voices inside are not chaotic, they are layered, searching, reflective, and because of this rich inner world, external conversation often feels shallow, disconnected from the depths they are navigating within. It is not that they don't enjoy talking, it is that they value meaning in conversation more than its frequency. They are not drawn to the surface level exchanges that fill most social space, discussions about trends, gossip, or small talk that loops endlessly. For them, every word carries weight. Every question is an opening into something deeper. But such depth is rare, and those who dwell in it find themselves speaking less, listening more, and often feeling alone in a room full of voices. The inner dialogue of a smart person is not simply a stream of thoughts. It is a constant reckoning. They question themselves. They revisit their beliefs. They examine not only what they think, but why they think it. This recursive process can be exhausting, even isolating. But it is also illuminating. It keeps them honest. It keeps them awake. They are not content with inherited opinions or easy answers. Their mind seeks coherence, integrity, and truth, even when it is inconvenient. Because of this, their threshold for superficiality is low. Social life, as it is commonly experienced, often becomes a burden. To participate requires one to simplify, to dilute their thoughts, to perform. But intelligent individuals are not wired for performance. They find no joy in pretending to be less complex than they are. Every time they suppress the inner dialogue to accommodate outer expectations, something within them resists. And over time, this resistance becomes a quiet withdrawal. This does not mean they are cold or detached. In fact, their internal world is often rich with empathy, imagination, and emotional nuance. But the space they inhabit within themselves demands care. It asks for time, for solitude, for reflection. To constantly step out of that space just to engage in fleeting conversations feels like abandoning a sacred task. Their minds are temples, and not every voice deserves to echo inside them. Thus, while others may chase constant interaction as proof of aliveness, the intelligent soul often retreats, not because they do not care, but because they care deeply and cannot bear to waste that care on things that do not nourish them. They are in dialogue with something bigger than themselves, their conscience, their curiosity, their contradictions. This is not loneliness, this is intimacy with the self. And in that inner weight, they carry more life than most ever speak aloud. For the intelligent individual, solitude is not a punishment to be avoided, but a sanctuary to be sought. In a world that often equates loneliness with deficiency, they understand that it is in the quiet and stillness where the most profound transformation occurs. While others may fear the isolation that comes from stepping away from the constant buzz of social life, they embrace it as a necessary part of the journey toward understanding themselves and the world around them. Solitude is not emptiness to them, but a fertile ground where meaning can emerge. not in the noise of external influence, but from within. In a society that constantly pushes for connection, achievement, and outward expression, solitude is often misunderstood as a retreat from the world, but for the intelligent person, it is a return to the self, a time to dive deeper into one's own thoughts, feelings, and reflections. Here, they can confront their doubts, explore their creativity, and question the assumptions they've inherited from the world around them. The noise of social life, with its constant demands and distractions, cannot offer the space needed for such introspection. Only in the quiet do they find clarity, and it is only in that clarity that they are able to move forward in a meaningful way. In this solitude, they find a room to untangle their inner contradictions. The intelligent mind is often full of paradoxes, ideas, emotions, and insights that contradict each other, yet coexist in a delicate balance. To understand these contradictions requires time and space for contemplation, and that is what solitude provides. The more one allows oneself to sit with these internal conflicts without the pressure of external opinions, the more one is able to make sense of them. They are not trying to escape from confusion. They are embracing it as a vital part of the process of self-discovery. Only through solitude can the intelligent individual sift through the layers of their psyche and unearth the deeper truths that lie beneath. Moreover, solitude becomes a source of creativity. Many people turn to social life to seek inspiration, to validate their ideas, or to gain approval for their work. But for the intelligent mind, creativity often flourishes in moments of isolation. In the absence of external voices, the mind becomes free to explore new possibilities, to make connections between seemingly unrelated ideas, and to come to terms with the vastness of their own imagination. Solitude is the birthplace of innovation, where the mind can wander without limitation, unhindered by the need to fit in or to please others. It is here that new insights are born, and the world is often reshaped by those who are willing to listen to their inner voice. While society may view their retreat into solitude as avoidance or even weakness, those who truly understand the value of inner exploration know that solitude is a profound act of strength. It is the ability to be comfortable in one's own company, to find peace in the quiet moments, and to trust that the path forward lies not in external recognition, but in the cultivation of one's inner life. In the solitude of their own mind, they find purpose and meaning that the social world can never provide. It is here, in this sacred space of solitude, that the intelligent soul discovers who they truly are, unencumbered by the expectations of others, free to explore the depths of their own existence. And in doing so, they find a sense of fulfillment that is not reliant on the fleeting approval of society, but on a deeper, more lasting connection with the self. In the end, the intelligent mind does not reject the world. It simply understands that there is more to life than what is immediately visible or socially prescribed. They do not care about social life because they are not seeking the shallow validations that many crave. Instead, they are embarking on a profound journey towards self-realization. They are not interested in conformity because their true work lies in individuation, in becoming who they truly are, independent of external expectations. The rich inner dialogue they maintain, a constant conversation with their own thoughts, emotions, and contradictions, is what shapes their existence. While the world rushes by, their mind moves with intention and depth, ever in pursuit of understanding. They do not shy away from solitude. Rather, they embrace it as a sanctuary, a place where clarity emerges, creativity flourishes, and the self can evolve without distraction. And so, when you encounter someone who seems detached, uninterested in social life, or even solitary, remember, they are not avoiding connection. They are seeking something far more precious, an authentic relationship with themselves. Their solitude is not emptiness, but a space in which they cultivate meaning and purpose. It is in this journey of self-discovery that they find the richest forms of connection, first with themselves and eventually with others who are capable of understanding the depth they have nurtured. So let us not mistake silence for emptiness or solitude for loneliness, for in the silence of the intelligent mind there lies a world of infinite possibility, a world that holds the key not just to understanding oneself, but to understanding what it means to be truly alive. Thank you.